Let me tell you a story. The wind off the lake. He walked from the river. It was too cold for it, late October, and wind peeling off the lake like a blade. But Eli needed the movement. The rhythm in his boots against the pavement kept him from thinking too much about her, about what he would say, about whether he should have come at all. Mia. Even saying her name to himself stirred something, a low hum behind his ribs that had never quite gone quiet, no matter how far he ran from it. He saw her before she saw him, standing by the window in that bar, tucked into the corner of the Park Hyatt. City lights silhouetted her. She hadn't changed, not really. Some posture, thoughtful, deliberate, suddenly untouchable. But there was something softer now, in the way she held her glass, like the edge had rounded. Or maybe he was just looking harder than before. He said her name, just to see how it would land. Mia. She turned slowly, and that look in her eyes, it nearly undid him. Not surprise, not warmth, something more intimate than either. It was recognition. They sat by the window. He was careful not to sit too close. He wasn't sure if she wanted him to, and he'd already promised himself that he wouldn't press. But even from across the table, he could feel it, what hadn't gone away. The city buzzed beneath them, all motion and noise, but up here was quiet. Just her voice, her eyes, the shape of her mouth around his name. He kept catching himself watching her lips as she talked, wondering if she still remembered how their last kiss had tasted. The way he did. Rain, a little salt, everything unsaid. I walked the river before this, he said, hoping to keep things light, to give the moment room to breathe. She looked at him, cautious but curious. We were never here together. I know, he said, but I always pictured you here, in this weather, in the city. You're the kind of woman Chicago writes songs about. She laughed then, quiet and low, and he felt it all the way down. Then she reached across the table and touched his wrist. Just the brush of her fingers, nothing flashy, but it felt louder than anything else that had happened all night. He turned his hand over, let her fingers slip into his. God, it was easy, like muscle memory, like they'd never stopped. He wanted to say something, anything, about how often she still came to his mind, how often he built whole evenings in his head around what it would be like to see her again. But when she leaned in and said, "Room upstairs, corner view," the words left him. His chest tightened, not with lust, but with something heavier. Hope, maybe. He stood, quietly, respectfully, but he followed her. The elevator ride was held breath, the hallway too quiet. Her key card beeped softly, and the door swung open. Inside, it was all the city lights and shadows, and that hum between them now a full current, but neither of them rushed.